Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early mornings at LALATE. It's a 6:30 edition, the bottom of the hour, the one that comes after 6 o'clock. I'm so glad you joined me with big developments about your second stimulus check, your second stimulus package, the developments about stimulus in the CR, and then meantime, oh my goodness, those successes overnight. If you did not tune into Purple Power Live last night at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, boy, no less than a half dozen, no, I think it was almost 8 success stories all across the country. Rent, food, utilities, big grants, 20,000, 6,000, 5,000, all different types of grants. So excited for the viewers of this channel. And you're going to be getting it today because you're tuning into the right show and the right morning show. Let's get right to it. And this is Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. The toast is toast and the butter is buttering. I'm here, you are here. And wow, congratulations to those incredible viewers overnight that just got great sums of money. The messages and the testament and the pushing is just incredible. I'll have more about them in a second, but if you've not subscribed, please do, because no one is getting money like this channel for the viewers of this channel. And it started with me 12 days ago. Then I asked for some volunteers. I got 1 or 2, then we went to 4, and now we're at 9. And the volunteers are doing magic. These are people who are stepping forward and are imparting to the viewers how to get this money, and some of the viewers overnight got the money themselves on their own accord as well by using the knowledge of this channel. So if you've not subscribed, please do, because this is thousands of dollars that you're getting right now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. The longest one was 5 days and the person got $20,000. And also like this video, it really helps in the algorithm. In today's video, I'll be going over a lot of details, including that EIDL success story, but the other success stories. Meantime, what's going on in the CR, this continuing resolution, this bill, what is it and what does it mean for your stimulus? It's all really good news and it's exciting. I don't want to say great yet, it's just good and exciting. And over there, what are they doing over there? What are you folks doing over there? You're chatting? You're chatting, you're just going, this thing is moving really quickly. There's a live instant chat if you're looking over there at the moment, and they're just chatting about something. I don't know who. Nancy, are you chatting about Nancy? So it's an instant premiere. It's an instant premiere because if you're tuning in at 6:30, at the bottom of the hour, there's always an instant premiere, just like the 6 o'clock edition. You can chat with your Purple Power friends, and it's a lot of fun because the same familiar faces you see every morning, and you wake up with your cup of coffee or tea or your panettone. Yeah, no, I do not eat panettone for breakfast. And you just sit back and you see the familiar faces. Last night's Purple Power Live was sort of a testament. Larry Maui was in there, and someone said, Larry, can you send me some pictures of Maui? Because you're Larry Maui. Needless to say, the person didn't say, Larry Maui, can you send me some pictures of Louisville, Kentucky? That would not have made sense. I said, sure, I'll send you some pictures. So that's sort of the spirit of this channel. So thank you for tuning in. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news, as you sit here today, is that millions of Americans are now wondering if this last deadline, that's a real, true deadline, it's not a fake deadline, will be the tip of the iceberg to get the stimulus check. It's so exciting. Let me explain what's going on. And last night on Purple Power Live, I realized how I have to explain this very slowly because it's a little strange. What is a CR? A CR stands for continuing resolution. What's a continuing resolution? It's a bill. Oh, a bill. Just like the bills you usually talk about on this channel? Yes. It's a bill because it has to start in either the House or the Senate, approved by the Senate or the House, normal voting like any other bill, and then goes to the president to sign. It's just a simple, straightforward bill. So what's the purpose of the CR? The purpose of the CR is to fund the federal government. It's a budget bill. It's a budget bill to fund the federal government. Well, haven't you talked about this before? I have. It comes up about every 3 months, and they got to do another CR. So, what does this have to do with stimulus? Because in the past, they slid into the CR stimulus. They slid into a federal budget bill that's not a stimulus package bill. It's a bill to fund the federal government and its operations. They slid stimulus in here. So, what about this deadline? What is this deadline? Well, the deadline is they got to do every CR by a deadline. That's how the law works, how the congressional record works. They have to do and approve the CR by the deadline. What does that mean? Well, it means they have to get it, they have to do all the three steps. It has to be signed by the Senate, signed by the House, signed by the President, all by that deadline. And this deadline is December 11th. So what if they don't get it by the deadline? Because they just ignore deadlines all the time. We see that with these people. The difference with this one is the government shuts down. Okay, Sir Lloyd would say, oh, I see. Sir Lloyd would say, yeah, this is a real deadline. This is not an airline's deadline that you can sort of ignore. You know how the airline said, we're going to go bankrupt tomorrow, so give us money, and then they don't go bankrupt and they don't give money. Yeah, this is a real deadline. No shades of the airlines. And so what does this have to do with stimulus? And does this mean we're not getting our stimulus? No. What this means is that you have a series of things that were created in the first stimulus package that are expiring in December. And no one wants these things to expire. No Republican, no Democrat, no one wants these things to expire. The difference between the two parties is the Republicans want to save it now, and the Democrats want to just say, no, we can't do one thing at a time because we got to do everything together. And if we start doing things separately, we'll never get it done. Well, the point is that you've said that story for 7 months and you got nothing done. So now is the deadline, and you can't keep on saying you're not going to do anything and hold up the entire universe because you want to give your friend Andrew Cuomo and your friend Gavin Newsom a big bailout. You can't keep on holding up millions and millions of people's stimulus checks and unemployment because you want to bail out your two buddy governors. You can't keep on doing that. And so this is what millions of Americans are saying, this is like insane. And now finally there's the way to do it. So let me explain. The articles are claiming that Mitch McConnell and the GOP have devised this sort of devilish, delicious, scandalous, no, it's not scandalous, well, it was almost scandalous, just very inventive scheme, which is to put the stimulus in the CR, pass it in the Senate, which is controlled by the Republicans, send it to the Temple Doom, where she's going to say, I don't want this stuff in here. I standalone bill and people going hungry and all that type of stuff she always says. And they say, go fine, Nance. The alternative is we're shutting down the federal government. You're not going to get checked during the holidays. You're not going to get your check because you won't give millions of Americans their check. I got to do my hair. I gotta do my hair. I need my check. I'm just reenacting what would occur. And now there's really belief that this is going to work. Now, there's two things you have to sort of default on this. One, you have to hope the news reporting is correct. And two, you have to hope that the GOP really follows through with this, because a lot of these people sometimes just cop out at the 11th hour. It's like, yeah, it's, too much work for me even to pick up a pencil. So you just have to hope they just don't cop out. But the thing that is different here is that they have to do the bill by December 11th. There's nothing to, so they're already doing the bill. It's not like they don't do the bill. They still have to do the bill. So what are the deal provisions? And then if you tune into Purple Power Live every night at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Last night it was really the topic of du jour. It was like, what's the check? Who would get the check? How would this work? This is what I predict, but it's just my prediction. My prediction is it will be a $1,200 check. My prediction it would be a $1,000 check for children. My prediction is adult dependents will get a $1,200 check. It will be a family of 5. My prediction is that this is just an emergency add-on to the CR. It is not the entire universe of your stimulus. The news article did have some numbers, though, for unemployment. It would extend FPUC, it would extend PUA, it would extend UI. So UI, unless you're in a state that's giving you additional weeks of benefits by law, by a special act of the governor in the last few weeks, which is the state of Illinois, New Mexico, and Hawaii are apparently some of the states have done that. If you're not in those states, your unemployment assistance weeks, if you started unemployment in February, will be gone by late December, because FPUC, which is the federal law established in March, which gave you additional weeks, expires. And unless they fix that in the CR, then you're not going to have those weeks. Then the same thing with PUA. PUA expires. It was created in March. So that will also expire. So this bill would have an extension of PUA, so would not expire, an extension of UI or FPUC, so it would not expire, and then it would give you some PUA on top of that. So then the questions came. Retroactive? Yes. The article says retroactive. What amount? The article says retroactive for about 250 to 400, which, as the viewers understood with me, that's better than nothing. And actually, it's relatively good. Because so many weeks have passed, it works in your favor, because September to now is September, October, November, December. That's 4 months. 4 months times 4 weeks, 16 weeks. It's about $6,000. Plus a stimulus check, $1,200. That's about $7,000. It's better than zero. That's really quite good. So there's that. There'll be student loan repayment moratorium, eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance, and everything else would come thereafter, like SSI and SSDI sent Social Security $2,400. That would come later in a separate bill. So incredible, great news. Let's now turn to CARES Act 1 grants. Boy, as I drop something. The success of this channel overnight, my goodness. No less than 10 viewers told me that they got grants because of this channel. 2 in private messaging last night, and then approximately 8, it may have been more, in Purple Power Live last night. They were rent grants, they were utility grants, and they were everywhere. The utility grants were generally several months, or a lump sum, and then the rent grants were generally more like 3 to 6 months. So the earlier viewers who got 1 year of grants, I haven't seen 1 year of grants in recent days, but I have seen 3 and 6 months. 3 seems to be a very common number, by the way. And they're big number of rent. So I'm not talking about people whose rent's $400 a month. The one person I think had rent of $1,200 a month. So they're paying big rent grants, utilities across the board. And what's incredible to know and see was that viewers understood now, after me doing this for 12 days, these stories about rent grants and EIDL and escalated benefits, that there ultimately is something. And I had viewers not really gang up on someone else, but basically say, no, you need to look at this as well. I had one viewer jump in the comments that said, there's nothing anywhere in the state of Missouri for anything of any sort. And after I said one word, I sort of, yeah, it's like, well, I got my little catty moment. It's like, as Jonathan Winters would say, there's a cat in the basement, and I think its feet are glued to the ground. It's Jonathan Winters with his jokes about cats back in the day. The other viewers had their catty moments as well. They jumped in the comments and said, no, there's utility grants all across Missouri. There's utility grants all across the state of Missouri, and so don't say there's nothing in the state of Missouri. And then some viewers jump in the comments and say, hey, there's rent grants in St. Louis County. So don't say there's nothing anywhere. And that's sort of the testament of the Purple Power, that we don't say no for anything. We don't say never for anything, because ultimately there's a push, push, push. Now, the push, push, push for second stimulus is to take the video up before this and tag McConnell and his communications director on Twitter and say, make sure you put stimulus in the CR. Hashtag CR for stimulus. And how about repurposing that CARES Act 1 money, that $800 billion that's sitting around at SBA? $800 billion at SBA of expired PPP money. Repurpose that as a stimulus check in the CR. That would just save millions of Americans' livelihoods. Mitch is hearing your tweets, because he and Mnuchin, no less than 2 weeks ago, wrote the Democrats, said, let's repurpose money. And the Democrats said, no. Now the concern is that we're at December 1st. How did it get out? The concern The concern is now that we're at December 1st, the start of the month, that all this money that's sitting in the CARES Act is going to come back and be called back by minutia. And it won't be able to be repurposed anymore. So that's the big telling point. The important thing to remember is that I want you to get this money. Go at youtube.com/LA/community and grab that money. It's available for you, this rent grant, this escalated benefits, and that EIDL. Get those applications on file. It takes a few days. You have the holidays. I don't want you to wait. Reach out to volunteers. The volunteers are there to help. Treat them like family members, and they'll treat you back as well. If you have questions or comments in today's video, drop them in the comments below. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay valet for more.